Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today what we're going to be doing is using my randomizer app. So I come up with this idea a while ago because you kind of sit there and you're like, oh, what look am I going to do today? Do I want to wear bright lips, smoky eye, winged liner? What colour? Because I like to try and play with colour. I am 40 but I still think that colour's fun and I like glitter. So I will do what I like. And I'm lucky I'm in a job that I can wear what I like. So that is always helpful. So I come up with the idea a while ago to put everything that I am, some different looks, I guess, into a randomizer app. So that on the days that I can't sit there and figure out what I want to do, plug it into the randomizer and let it choose for me. So what I'll do is I will show you the randomizer app that I use. So I just use, hopefully it will show. So I use the Random app, which is a free download from the Apple Store. So this one up here. So if I click into that, it will go in. And then I can choose what look. So today we're going to do eyes. I have lips and eyes. I feel like doing eyes today. So if I click on that, or shake, see what it comes up with. Oh, smoky eye today. So that is what we will be doing. So smoky eye is the look for today. So I'm going to go away and get my stuff together and we will go with a smoky eye. Okay, so I've gone in and had a bit of a look at the collection, thinking smoky, and the first thing that comes to mind is the good old Naked Smoky. I love this palette. It's probably one of the favourite palette I have from the Naked line. I find it's grungy, okay, and I'm a 90s, that's where that was my teenage years, was the 90s, so I kind of like those grungy colours. So we've got, obviously, a selection of our greys and our neutrals. So we're going to work with that. I figured we're going to go full-on grunge smoky and see how we go. So I'm going to zoom on in closer and you can have a good look at my lovely skin. So you can see my eyes are quite puffy today. I've had a cold for the last couple of days and my daughter's come down with it now, so I haven't had much sleep. So it's a good test. We can hide that with grunge, so that's good. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Shiseido eye cream colour base in black. I love this stuff, it's super creamy. This is black 912, yeah. So I'm going to be real classy and I'm just going to get into that with my finger. Alright, so just going to take a little bit of that on my finger and try not to get it everywhere. A little bit goes a long way. Trying to just smudge it across the lower part of the lid and I'll work it up with shadow in a second. Getting that on. Any black base would do. Gel liner, so the MAC Black Track. It's always, oh no, that was a soft acre. MAC Black Track, good one as well. I just like the Shiseido one. Had it for a long time. Probably shouldn't be using it on my eyes, but it still works. So I may as well. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is take Black Market from the palette. So it does have sparkle in it, but honestly, once you start blending it out, it pretty quickly disappears. So I'm going to use a synthetic brush today, and this is ironically, one of the Urban Decay brushes from one of the Naked palettes. So I'm just going to first pack it on with the flat end. Basically getting that all over the lid and setting that black base I always prefer to do my eyeshadow first, and definitely with something like this. It's I don't even have to worry about if there's fallout. I'll clean it up before I go in with my foundation and concealer. So just getting it up into my crease. I have extremely hooded, droopy eyes, so you'll see that my crease moves around a little bit when I do this. It's okay, just work with it. Alright, so what I'm then going to do is take the clean side of the brush, and I'm just going to start blending that up into the crease. Might take a little bit more, just touch of black on that, the blending side, and do that. I prefer using, I'm not a big fan of synthetic brushes when it comes to blending. I like the natural hair brushes. I think they do a better job, but black's harsh. This is easy to clean. Just getting that base there. Okay, so we've got that down. I'm going to then just quickly wipe off that blending side, and I think I'm going to go in now with a bit of Puff Sweat. So this grey matte. I'm just going to start using that to further, I guess, blend out and start to create that gradation. With a black smoky eye, it's always about trying to prevent the fact that you look like you've slept in it for 3 days and it's kind of slapped there. So it does require a lot of that transition blending. You'll notice I didn't do the transition colour first. I don't like doing that when I do smokies. I actually prefer to put down that base colour and then start doing the transition, and I'll go back later and intensify any of that black that's kind of moved on out. But now I'm going to take the creamy colour, so Combust. So put that in frame. Going to take that creamy colour, Combust. Let's see how we go with that. So this one taking even higher. So this is starting to go up onto the lid now. Up onto the brow, sorry. And just blending out, making it softer. I'm not one for using a million brushes. I don't want to clean them. So if I can get away with using as few brushes as possible, I'm a happy girl. So while I'm there, I'm just going to, before we go back down into the base colour, I'm just going to take 13, the light matte colour, and just put that up, right up here, just underneath the brow. Just give it a bit of a lift. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back in with Black Market and just re-intensify the black down here. You can see, like I said, it's supposed to have shimmer. It's very, very subtle. I'm actually going to probably put a little bit of shimmer on in a second, just because I can. And then flipping over my brush, and I'm going to just blend out that edge again. So generally with my hoods, I try to really focus on down near my lash line. I find, because that's, you get to see a little bit of my lash line, and then you get to see my brow bone, and all of that in between is kind of lost. So that's what I like to focus on. Alright, might sit there just because I like this colour. Might go in with Armour, so it's just a nice shimmery gunmetal grey. And I think I might flip my brush around, and I'm just going to put that just on the centre, just to give it a little bit of lift. You can't make nice looks when you're doing makeup, eyeshadow. Well, I certainly can't, and I'm not going to try and pretend. And my mouth's going to be like, it's an ongoing joke when I do clients that whenever they want to take photos, the photographer has to let me know so I can shut my mouth and put my tongue away. I can't do it otherwise. It's kind of just how it goes. So just to further jazz up the look, see if I can come in. I've got my Stila, so my Stila Glitter and Glow in Molten Midnight. Black, shimmery, glitter. Can't go wrong. I have to get a little bit closer for this one. I'm just going to put that into the inner part of my lid. Mainly because, like I said, this is about the only place you see when my hoods start to fold down. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to use that brush and just soften out that edge. Maybe a little bit more on this side. Never too much glitter. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't wear glitter when you get older. Stuff them. So I kind of need to sit here for a little while with my eyes wide open until it dries. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so that's dried down a little bit now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some gel liner just to further intensify the lash line. So I'm just taking my MAC Black Track. It's a good staple in the collection. I'm going to have to get really close to the mirror for this, so I will come back once it's done. Okay, so what I've done with the liner is I've just taken the gel liner. I haven't done a huge wing. It's kind of lost on me if I do. And I tend not to take my liner all the way in either, because it closes off that little bit of space that I have. So that's how I do my liner. The good thing about doing a black smoky eye is it doesn't need to be, the liner doesn't need to be perfect. It's kind of just there to darken up that outer bit, just to give it something. Okay, so that's the top done. So now I'm going to get into doing my skin and brows, and then we'll finish the bottom part of my eyes after that. So for skin, I'm going to use the Hangover RX hydrating primer. I kind of feel like I need it today. My skin is dry and dehydrated as if. I love the smell of this stuff. Oh, it makes me feel like I need to go to the beach. For foundation, going to use the CoverGirl Healthy Elixir. I'm in 720, which is Creamy Natural. Just going to use that on my Sigma angled top kabuki brush F84. Applies really well with the sponge too, but I need to clean my sponges. So a brush will do today. Really, I bought this foundation a couple of weeks ago, and I really like it. It has a nice matte look, but because my skin's very dry, I'm kind of really cautious about matte foundations. But this one just looks nice. The finish it gives is just pretty, I guess is the only way to describe it. And it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. Just building it up over my cheeks, because I have, that's where my redness is and some broken capillaries. So just trying to cover that up. Tend not to put a lot on my upper lip. It's kind of the last place I go. I'm sorry, I've got little finches outside my window. They're so cute. I tend not to put a lot on my upper lip. I sweat there. It's not very pretty, so I use that last little bit of foundation just to even out the skin tone, but I don't like to build it up there. Alright, again, because today is the day and I'm looking very tired, I'm going to use my Maybelline Age Rewind, the Eraser Dark Circles. Good stuff. I don't put a lot of concealer on. I find that with older skin, you can't pile it on like the younger ones do. It will look crepey very fast. And I don't take it all the way up, especially if I'm going to smoke out my lower line. I don't take it all the way up to my lash line, because that's where all of our fine lines are. So I kind of keep it on that area I am trying to brighten, and make look like I'm fresh and awake and not recovering from the flu. Whether I use fingers or a sponge or a brush just depends on the day. Same with clients, it depends on the day and whether they like me using my fingers. I actually prefer fingers. I think it helps warm up product and get it into the skin. So I don't bake. I find baking is really bad for someone with skin. I've got my Laura Mercier translucent powder, just a little puff, and I literally press it on, not going too high again, just in that bottom area. Press it on, with the other side of the puff, wipe it away. Because I do not want it to set down very dry. I've got people walking outside at the moment. Everyone's walking their dogs. It's kind of cute. Oh no, wait up. He's got a bottle of Bundy rum. He's going to have a good night tonight. Okay, so I've got that down. I'll set the rest of my face. My favourite setting powder, my favourite face powder is the Australis Fresh and Flawless. It's just damn good. Okay, I use it in my kit. I love it. So mine is in medium tan. Just get that on a big fluffy brush. I think this is the Nude by Nature powder brush. I don't put a lot of powder on. I tend to focus it on this part of my face here, and then I use just that little bit, the rest, just to buff out the foundation, so it doesn't end up looking too cakey. Okay, back into the eyes. I am going to do my brows. Because of my deep set brows, and I naturally have quite thick brows. I don't do all that much with them. Most days I just put a tinted gel over it and we're good to go. It's, you know, it's one of those things. I'm kind of glad that my laziness and in the 90s held out, and I never got into the plucking my eyebrows away so that they looked like little tadpoles. So I'm just basically I'm using the Goof Proof Brow Pencil in number 3 the Goof Proof Brow Pencil in number 3, just to give a bit of colour more than anything, just to fill out some of the sparse patches, just to darken them a little bit, because I am a blonde, but I have dark hair at the moment, so this is just kind of helps tie it in a little bit. And I've got a couple of little sparse patches, so this kind of just fills them in, makes them look a little bit thicker. And there she goes. So now we can get into finishing off the bottom of the eyes. Just kind of going to repeat the steps that I did up top. Going to take the Sigma Pencil E30 brush, and I'm going to go into Combust again, so the lighter colour. I'm going to use that first to kind of do a big smoke out. This is just kind of like the base layer. Try not to poke my eyes out. Then I'm going to go into Password. Focus that obviously a little bit closer to my lash line. Start bringing it up to connect with my liner. And then going in with Black Market, that black, just a teensy bit. And just going to do that on the outer edge of the lower lash line. Smoke it up into that liner. Kind of taking away the harshness of the liner too. Because remember, we kind of want to look a bit grungy. And grungy is not perfect, which is good. And then into the inner corner, just because why not, I'm going to take High, nice light shimmery colour, just wiping off that brush because I don't want to use another one. And take that in. I'm just going to put it into the inner and bring it down onto that inner part of the lower lash line. Okay, time for mascara. I'm going to use the Lights Camera Lashes from Tarte. With this kind of look, the mascara isn't going to be that noticeable. So it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to put lashes on. I don't wear lashes a lot. They kind of take up my entire lid space if I put them on, and I don't have much. So So lashes are on. This is the finished eye look. Kind of nice for just a different take on a smoky, typical black smoky. I'm gonna zoom out and finish the face. So on the face, I am going to use the Tarte, just a little mini, Hotel Harris. I can speak English, I promise. I'm going to use the Tarte Hotel Harris bronzer. Looks like this. Just bringing it up my cheeks, a little bit to the side. I don't take it all the way up onto my forehead because I don't have a big one. I don't have a big forehead. So I don't need to shrink it down any further. So I tend to just keep it to the sides of my face. A little bit under the chin because that always needs some help. And a little bit on the top of my nose because I actually try to reduce the appearance of my nose. So I don't highlight it. I actually try and bring it back a little bit. For blush, I'm going to take my Tarte, the Blush Bazaar, and I am going to take quite a neutral one, which is Angelic, and just brush a little bit of that on. Sorry, brushes, this is the MAC 187, and for my bronzer I used the Pro Angled Brush 201 from Glencoe. So once I've done that, I like to take my powder brush and I just go around and soften it a bit. I think as we get older, we need to keep things a little bit softer, so I try not to have too harsh of any lines. And then for highlight, my go-to, the one I love, is you can see it's very well loved, is my MAC Whisper of Guilt. It's just good. So I'm going to use that. And I've got to bring over my highlight brush, or is it here? No, it's here. It's just very dirty. So this is the Zoeva Luxe Highlight 105. I'm going to take my Whisper of Guilt. I don't go overboard with highlighter. I'm not 20 anymore. I don't have the cheekbones that allow me to get away with that. But a little bit's nice. So bring a little bit of highlighter in. And I like to blend it out. Like I said, I don't do anything down the centre of my nose. I don't need to highlight that. And then our last thing that I'm going to do is lips. So for lips, no, I've decided before I do lips, I'm going to put some cream liner in, mainly just to try and open up my eyes a little bit. So this is just the Ben Nye Neutralizer. I don't usually tend to wear eyeliner much. I've got I don't know what I do. I've tried all of them, but my eyes does not like it, and I end up with eyeliner snot coming out both sides. So it's not a pretty look. For lips, I am going to use my faithful one I love if I'm looking for that nude lip that I know looks good. It is the Colourpop Times Square Ultra Matte Lip. This is probably one of the only lipsticks I repurchase. There's only a few when I find the ones that I really like. It's more of a cooler toned neutral, which works well for me. I have a neutral skin tone, and I kind of tend to pull a little bit cooler. And to finish off the face, just going to give it a bit of a spritz with some MAC Fix Plus, just to bring some hydration back in. Fan it off. Oh, this is the best part. I love the fanning of just zhuzh up the hair a little bit. And this is the finished look. So I'll come in closer, give you a bit of a look. Can't take myself seriously, so. And that is the finished smoky look. So I'll do these random ones when I have time. They're just a bit of fun to play around when I can't decide what I want to do. So thank you for coming in and checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. That'd be great, trying to build up some subscribers for those. Definitely focusing on those with obviously more mature skin and showing that we can still have some fun with makeup even if we are older. And as always, remember to be kind, be strong, and be a warrior. See ya.